What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, coming to you live from Florida, my apartment. What I want to talk about today is the one thing to move the needle in your copywriting and marketing business. And this topic comes from a YouTube comment that I received just 17 hours ago. And the comment says, when you're busy and life just gets in the way, like what you just experienced, what's the one thing you consistently did? Do you have such a one thing, and one thing in all caps? So let's talk about that stuff. I think first and foremost, was really important, and the obvious things that I did, my one thing that I obviously did consistently was produce these lives. And that's a very surface level answer, right? I went live, okay? But I think there's a lot underneath the surface that is not measured in that. And I'll explain why this cost me approximately 50% of the usual weekly sales revenue that I generate from this channel. And I think that's really important to see is that consistency is sort of like doing something and doing it right is kind of like there's a gap there, right? There's a gap. This also will factor into the whole idea behind deep work and what I think is very important about that. So let's see. The one thing that continued consistently when life got in the way was going live. I knew that going live is how I built my entire channel to begin with, and I knew that that was the thing that was basically getting me sales. That's my only traffic source and revenue generator at this time, because I'm still not running ads. I'm a direct response marketer who doesn't run ads yet. And the reason is, before I want to try to scale something, first I want to have products to scale. So on that note, I can tell you that today I spent like all morning recording those videos that I've been talking about recently, where I'm going to break down how I wrote draft by draft. I'm going to break down how I wrote the sales letter at kylethewriter.com/book. That's the sales letter for my book, Take Their Money, which teaches you the secret language that speaks directly to the emotional center of your customer's brain, because all buying decisions are emotional-based decisions, not logical decisions. But anyway, that sales letter has made me some money because people go there, they read that, and they buy. But I haven't yet run ads to it to see how it's performing via direct response. So I know that all my money is coming from the channel, right? It has to be. I do a little bit on social media, but not really any growth there. It's all coming from YouTube pretty much. And that comes to, let's talk about tracking. We need to track stuff. Track and progress. Okay, so let's take this to you. Let's say you're in a jam. Let's say life has gotten in the way. What should you do? What should be your one thing to do consistently to continue to make progress? First, you need to know what makes progress. First, you need to know the things that are critical to your success. And for me as a copywriter, so now I almost have two worlds. I have two lives. As a copywriter, I believe in practicing deep work. Okay, so deep work is this idea I got from Cal Newport. It's a book called Deep Work. And essentially, if it isn't researching for a promo or a sales letter, or actually writing the promo or sales letter, then it is not deep work. Answering comments, answering emails, responding to Slack messages, all that crap is shallow work. If you want more information, you can read his book. But essentially, that's deep work. But what I've found is now I have a double life. That's my copywriting job as a copywriter at Agora Financial, right? But my other life is actually an internet marketer. Now I'm like my own guru now. So I have to keep that business up because I saw my revenue get slashed in half last week while I was traveling. Half! 50% disappeared, dude. It was crazy. And I'll tell you what the reason was, is here's some things I stopped doing. I was going live every day, but I stopped doing keyword research. I stopped doing internal linking with cards. Like I have little cards that'll pop up in the corner and send you to another video, and people click on those things, right? That keeps people on my channel, and the longer you're on my channel, the more likely you are to hear my pitch that you should buy my book, Take Their Money, at kylethewriter.com/book. You get indoctrinated into my message, my marketing, my methodology. You really start to buy into what I'm saying, and then you buy the book. Right? Because I was on the road traveling or whatever and couldn't find half decent internet, and I was like constantly scrambling around between family stuff and doing this and even my job at Agora, I slacked off on the cards. The little cards in the corner stopped popping up. My couple of my videos don't have end screen cards, I realized. Like at the end, I should be linking you to another video. So yes, I was going live, but I wasn't doing a good job. I wasn't optimizing those videos. Another thing I did, I stopped doing keyword research. Basically, I was just like, I'm just going to go live. It's 3:59. What the hell am I going to do? And I'd go live, right? I'd go live and I just start babbling. Now, why is this important? This is important to you too. I stopped speaking directly to the customer's pain points. You guys are the customers, right? I stopped doing keyword research for your very specific questions. I stopped speaking directly to your pain points. Remember, it always starts with research, man. It isn't that I'm a genius and I just spit this stuff and people just eat it up. No, I know what you want to hear because you say it to me. I do the research. All right, I do the research through these videos. I read your comments and questions, and I try to answer those comments and questions in other videos like I'm doing right here, right now. I'm addressing a very specific individual who asked me, what's the one thing that you continue to do when life got in the way? I'm addressing that. I know this is a pain. I know this is an itch that needs to be scratched for this person. So it's a research. It always starts with research. So basically, I stopped doing research. I stopped looking up keywords on Google, and I paid $350 for a keyword tool that I stopped using. All right, so I'm not getting like that cold traffic boost anymore from like keyword searches. I'm not actually targeting my customer specific pain points the way I was before, and really getting them engaged. Like I think I have one video that has like zero like engagement, which is like, oh, that's terrible, right? So it came down to the fact I was just kind of like on the road, traveling back and forth, and I would just go live, and I would just spit whatever was on my mind, and had sometimes nothing to do with copywriting. And that caused like a complete slicing of my revenue. That's what I think caused it, right? So I want to talk about tracking and progress too in just a second. Don't let me forget. Remind me, okay? Let's see if we got any comments or anybody in here yet. Okay, cool. So I want to talk about tracking progress. This question. Sorry, I got distracted a little bit. So I saw my revenue totally get slashed up. I saw my engagement plummet, and it came down to like not focusing on the customer. So one thing, I went live, but at the end of the day, everything starts with research. Those overnight successes that we talked about in yesterday's video, watch this. Bing! I'm going to give you a link to yesterday's video in case you didn't watch it. Now, hopefully you go check it out. So the yesterday's video, we talked about these overnight successes always come pre-loaded, front-loaded, with like years of research and effort and work, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm an overnight success. This big idea just popped in my head. Yeah, it came after doing all this research and really understanding your market and your customer and that sort of stuff, right? So when I get on camera, I usually have done like an hour of prep just to know what kind of stuff you want to hear. So it's not like I'm a genius at marketing. Like I don't just like this doesn't just pop out of my brain at all. It all comes from the research. I am not clever. I try to tell you that I'm not like a genius or like even a halfway clever or smart dude. I just read what you say and then I repeat it back to you. So while one thing that I did continue to do while life was getting in the way was go live, the one thing that fell off was research, and I paid the price in literal dollars, literally losing money, because this is like my only revenue generator until I start running ads. All right, now let's talk about the product I'm creating. One more time, really quick. Basically, I'm creating a video series. I recorded 2 hours today where I just showed you what I wrote, why I wrote it, how I researched it, and why that was, and I even this is the most in-depth thing. This is definitely going to be a paid product. Okay, I'm not just going to put this on YouTube. I've been working on this since February 11th, and it is March 28th. And basically, I have like every document. I show you, here's the promo I am emulating, right? I tell you my research process, read 5 promos, actively read 3 of them, and then mimic or model 1, okay? I'm showing you those promos. I'm showing you look, here's how it worked in that promo. Here's how we're doing it in this promo. Direct translation of how I'm doing those things, where I'm getting my ideas, where I'm getting the research, the exact Google searches I ran, and what articles I read. I'm telling you, there's never been, this is probably the most in-depth thing on how to write a sales letter ever. So I've been recording that today. Once that is done, right, I plan to start running ads, because then I have a front end, right? And then I have my front end as my book and my front end upsell. Now, this is important for you to listen to because you're seeing a actual direct marketer, what a direct marketer would do. And this is a guy who's been trained at Agora Financial. I work at Agora Financial. So I've got a lot of experience in direct marketing. So maybe this would be interesting for people who are trying to get into direct marketing or online marketing at all. So I've got my front end product, right? It's the book. And then once you get to the cart page of the book, if you go to kylewriter.com/book, you check out the book. Once you go to the cart page, I'm going to try to pitch you a research upsell. The research upsell, if you decide to get the 5 video series for, it's a 6 video series for research. It's 6 videos and 5 of them are like really in depth on the research. Number 1 is like a big, I think it's like a big overview video. Man, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to try to pitch you on how to do research. And again, I don't think there's anything more important than research. I'm basically making that case this whole video now. But I'm going to show you, like, you go for the book, you go to the cart page, and I pitch you a research thing. If you get the research videos, the book comes included with the videos, right? So you get the videos, and in that price, you also get the book, okay? So that's a small, like, front-end funnel. And those videos, what they do is they boost my average cart value. And that's neato, beato, bandito, right? I'm not mad or complaining. However, let me tell you some of the shortcomings, okay? This is totally getting off topic. We're way off topic of the one thing now, but this might be helpful for you if you're trying to grow a business, okay? So one of the shortcomings is my cart sucks. I have a terrible cart system. I think it sucks, or maybe I just don't know how to use it. I need to switch to ClickFunnels, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what the best tracker way to do this is, but the cart system I have is like the cheapest one I could find because I'm selling like a cheap product, and I don't have a back end to monetize everything. So I'm basically kind of, I thought I'd break even, but I'm actually making money, which is great. To break even on the front end is pretty standard, but you usually should be paying for ads, and then you want to monetize that list with the back end. Okay, that's the big system. Once I start releasing this back end product with this giant super course on how to write a sales letter, then I will have the money to throw at ads and test and lose money without it coming out of my own pocket. Pretty much ever. All I need is a couple people to buy it, and then I should be able to get something rolling and get going, right? So that's the reason we're not running ads yet, okay? So, and that also brings me back to, like, what's the one thing that I do, right? All right, what's the one thing that I keep doing? Okay, this brings us full circle, okay? Deep work. Every day I try to commit myself to 2 hours of deep work a day, and that's Sunday through Sunday. And the reason I go Sunday through Sunday is because I don't get stressed out working 7 days a week, because I only ask myself for 2 hours of completely isolated work. When I was traveling, that didn't happen. It was very bad, and I got pretty frustrated pretty quick. Now let me explain why deep work is so important. First, deep work is any work that moves the needle in your professional career. Deep work can be defined as the work that you specifically need your expertise, right? I can't hire like a college student to do this in my place. It needs me. It needs Kyle Milligan for this work to get done, okay? So that's one thing. That's how you would define deep work. Now, why deep work is so important and why I get so frustrated when I don't get my 2 hours of deep work comes down to this little article that I read. And I started to hint at this at yesterday's video too, about progress. Deep work is the work that gives you progress in your business or your career or your life. For me as a copywriter, I say deep work has to be either research for a promo or actually writing the promo. Everything else is shallow work. One of my friends called it reactionary work, where I'm like responding to emails, responding to meeting requests, or doing this, taking calls, doing that. That's reactionary work. The deep work is stuff like going live, creating content, reaching out to more people. So that's for my internet marketing double life. My deep work I'm kind of starting to have deep work. This is deep work, man. I'm making content. I'm moving the bar forward in my internet marketing career, right? For my Agora financial copywriting career, I need to be researching or writing for 2 hours a day. And I always considered this thing that we're doing here a side hustle until I saw the revenue start to disappear. And then I was like, ooh, no, I want that money to keep coming. So basically, deep work moves the needle forward, all right? So what's important is this article. I still haven't gotten to the article. The article is from buffer.com, and it's called The Science Behind What Motivates Us to Get Up for Work Every Day. Let me bring this over here, and I'll share it with you really quick. And I just got like 1 or 2 little things I want to share with you. And this kind of gives you, look, I'll tell you something that pisses me off, all right? I'm going to go on a tirade. I don't like when gurus tell you that their system, like, okay, Why don't you make more money? Well, it's because X, Y, Z. And then they leave it there. They don't tell you where they got that idea. They don't tell you what the science is behind that. They don't have any case studies or proof behind that. They say, they say something like, the reason you're not making more money is because you don't use the color orange in your videos. Like, some stupid stuff like that. Like, people have to come up with their new and unique way to pitch their thing, but then they never justify it or back it up with any real science or claim, right? And that drives me nuts. And I think this is kind of what I'm doing here with deep work. So let me show you a little bit about why I believe the things that I believe and why I think it's so important for you to get this. And again, this all comes back to the one thing that I consistently do. It was going live, right? Because that's deep work. So it's all tied together. The one thing I consistently do is I consistently perform deep work, because deep work is the thing that creates progress. And there's a very specific quote that you need to see. I think it's in this article. All right, it's called there it is. Set yourself up for success. Here is how. So basically they found this study, and it says, Amabile and Kramer's most important finding is that making progress at work is the main way to fuel positive inner work life. Making progress is easier said than done, but breaking it down to ask what will facilitate progress can be helpful. Okay, so essentially what they found is that when you make progress, it motivates you to continue working, which is why I think figuring out what your deep work activities are and then doing them every single day. Someone asked me, like, how do you have the energy to keep doing this? Dude, I see progress every single day. Every single day, my YouTube channel grows. Every single day, I make a little more money. Like, every single day, I have more promos or more content out in the world. My library builds up. And I didn't have this answer in front of me then, but this is what science says. This is what science says. The reason is that I can do this every day is because I have progress. I have progress that I can report every day. Like when I get a new subscriber, I have one more subscriber on my YouTube channel than I did yesterday. So the one thing that you need to keep doing, and you have to know what your deep work activity is, okay? You need to know what it is that creates progress. Because when life gets in the way, if you're anything like me, you will get frustrated. I get so frustrated when I don't get my 2 hours of deep work in. Like, I get resentful, and as a matter of fact, I get hostile towards distractions. And one of the things that programmed this in my brain was the book The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, which basically teaches you about what's called the resistance. And for me, when I don't get 2 hours of deep work a day, because 2 hours isn't asking a lot, when I don't get my 2 hours of work in a day, I become extremely hostile to anything that isn't deep work. Because it's undermined me. Somehow it's gotten past my defenses and sabotaged my progress. And that's kind of like, if I could convey anything to you, dude, sometimes this results in people not liking me for like a couple days, because I'm like, F off, get away from me, don't talk to me. I got to do the work because I can't do it. You can get like that. It starts with understanding how you create progress and then doing those things. So the one thing that I did when life got in the way was to maintain going live every single day. However, it wasn't enough just to go live. I had to do the research first and know what it was that you wanted to hear. And if I don't deliver on things that you want to hear, or if I don't deliver true value, honestly, I don't want to say it on the channel, but I'm going to say it on the channel. I feel like my last week of videos has been shit. I feel like they've been really bad. And for the very reasons that I've said, no more internal linking, no more end cards, or I've missed end cards, or I haven't done the research to tell you exactly what you want to hear. And my brain's like, you shouldn't talk down your own content. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. But at the same time, that's kind of how I've felt about it. And the numbers don't lie, okay? And that stuff frustrates me because I know I'm supposed to be making progress here, okay? So the one thing that I do consistently is I figure out my deep work activities for this channel. Making good content every single day moves the needle. It gets me more subscribers. It gets me more money. For my copywriting career as a copywriter, things that I did every day, I kind of I have to juggle this dual life, right? So I know this is gonna sound cliche. I did the three things I tell you to do every day: read a promo, write a promo, and come up with an idea every day. So. And I don't read a whole promo and write a whole promo every day. Let me amend that a little bit. I basically had to write like a lift letter or something, some lift letters for a certain promo, right? Or I had to come up with a re-lead for a certain promo. Like, even during all this time, I was able to submit 2 releads, and I'd say, I don't know, 6, 7, a bunch of lifts, okay, a bunch of lifts and space ads for my work. So I think those are important things. Like, and another thing, someone asked me, like, how do you keep doing this? Okay, so one, science says it's because I keep seeing progress, right? Things keep going up for me, and I don't want to go backwards. Science says progress is what motivates us. As a matter of fact, if I can find one more quote, I think it was about undermined. Yes, here it is. Okay, let me show you this quote really quick. Desi's experiment showed that payment actually undermined intrinsic motivation because such external rewards thwart our 3 psychological needs: to feel autonomous, to feel competent, and to feel related to others. Okay, so basically it says right here, payment undermines intrinsic motivation. I don't know how much I believe that, but I'll say that payment for me is a benchmark. It's a guidepost, right? They say that you actually want these 3 psychological needs: to feel autonomous, competent, and related to others. And I believe that plays a role. But to feel competent, I need to see things improving, or else I won't feel competent. I'll feel like I am failing and I am moving backwards. I know things won't always go up and up and up and up, but to see things get slashed in half was did not like it. All right. So the one thing that I did. Let's see if I got anything else. Stopped internal cars, stopped keyword research. One thing that continued. Yeah, the one thing that continued was deep work, baby. Deep work. And that's a very broad term that I didn't make up. I got it from a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's a broad term. Maybe, nah, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say, maybe I should create my own buzzword for deep work, and then I can be that guy. Because I talk about it so much. But, I don't know. That's not what I'm here to do, is create fake buzzwords. Dan says, what up, dog? Dan says, copywriter.com/book. Thanks for plugging the book. Dan says, you should do a FaceTime live tour of your new place. Congrats on that. Dude, I don't think, based on some of the stuff that has been going down, I don't think I'm going to be in that place till July. And I think I'm going to have to, I honestly think I'm going to be living in Airbnbs for May and June. And maybe part of July, which is going to be a little weird. Maybe that'd be kind of cool for content. Dan says, what's a re-lead? Just replacing the lead section of a sales letter with a new lead section? Totally different lead approach? Yeah. Basically, the body copy is objection, claim, proof, benefit, right? So if these things are always true, right? These are facts: objection, claim, proof, benefit. You can basically start your lead, which is your hype section, with new information or a new angle, and then these things will always ring true anyway. So you can replace like the first 2 to 3 pages, just delete those, and paste some new ones, right? I could maybe make a video or something showing you re-leads then, if you find that helpful. But yeah, that's all that is. Let's see. Any other questions or comments? Thanks for posting the link, kylewriter.com/book. If you're interested in my book, that'll teach you emotion-based selling. It's called Take Their Money. I see the replay on the screen over here like 10 minutes later, and my hands are all in the camera, and like I'm all crazy over here. All right, cool. So let's recap really quick. How long have I been babbling on over here? Hopefully this has been useful. 23 minutes? That sounds about right. I can babble for 20 minutes pretty easily, especially if I know what I'm talking about, which I never do. Just telling you guys what the question was, and then telling you my answer. So, let's see. Progress, baby. Progress. So that's the answer. What's the one thing that continues? So for me, it's going to be different than everybody else. What's the one thing you consistently did? I think what's important is for anybody who wants to figure out the one thing, I think it is very important to simplify. Like when you're overwhelmed, I say that all the time, which is another reason why I say 2 hours to success, baby. Get 2 ounces to death. 2 hours to success. And I'll post a link here for my 2 ounce to death video, which, again, that video, I was one of those ones I had to do on the fly, man. I couldn't do research. I couldn't find the internet. I was distracted by the condo stuff. Like, it's very frustrating because I want to put out good content. But I do believe that 2 ounce to death, or 2 hours of success, is the way to do it, because I rarely feel overwhelmed. It's when I can't do the work that I get frustrated. Like, I can't physically get to my laptop. I can't physically have a quiet place to do my videos. I can't physically get Wi-Fi that will sustain a live stream. Those things will frustrate me. But the work itself is always very simple and basic. I figure out what the things are that move the needle in my life. And that's important because science says in order to feel like you want to do it again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, you need to see progress. And for you, that version, what you track for progress will be a little bit different than me probably. Maybe dollars and cents is your barometer. You know, maybe that's your KPI. Maybe there's some other sort of thing. But figure out what it is that creates progress, because that is the thing that goes into the deep work folder. Everything else is reactionary work. It's shallow work. It's things that don't actually move the needle for you or progress you down your path. For me, growing the YouTube channel and growing my income as a copywriter. And it's also like there's a lot of pride wrapped up in my copywriting. It's not about growing my income alone. Like everyone who sends me an email, I want to be a great every one of you says, I want to be the greatest copywriter that ever lived, okay? There's like 2 of you have never said that. But pretty much all people who email me say, I want to be the greatest copywriter. That's great. I think that's a wonderful goal to set. Most people say that. But for me, I do want to be, I want to be a renowned copywriter, okay? I want to be renowned. I want to be known for my accomplishments in the field, and I want to make an impact. And I'm hoping that new, easy, safe, and big is my way to do that. One announcement. I'm going to be on Copy Chief Radio, April 17th, I think. Forgot to say that. I should write that down and start telling you guys. I'm going to be on Copy Chief Radio with Kevin Rogers. So hopefully that blows up the channel a little bit too, man. Getting out in front of a new audience. Everyone keeps telling me I need to do podcasts, so there you go. Maybe that'll be the day. Maybe that'll be the thing that'll get us there. That's it, guys. 26 minutes. I hope you got something out of this. Something good had to come out of this. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever life gets in the way, you need to simplify. Figure out the thing that makes the needle move, your progress, your deep work, and do that. If you can just do that one thing, and I say do it for 2 hours. And I don't mean sit there for 2 hours straight, but for 60 minutes. Like put on your headphones and turn off your phone and no internet or whatever, like no distractions. 60 minutes, do the work. All right? Then you can come out, get some air, get some lunch, go to the gym. That's what I do. I go to the gym after 1 hour, except for this morning. I recorded like like 2 hours of content for this sales letter breakdown product. But then I go to the gym, and then after I get a nice workout in, I shower up, and then I do another hour, right? And then again, I put the headphones in, I turn my phone on airplane mode, nobody talk to me. I get very hostile if you try to distract me during my deep work time. So again, figure out what that is and try to knock out 2 hours at a time. If you can find 2 out of 24 of those hours, man. I think the hardest part is sleep. I'm getting on a tangent now. I'm gonna knock this one out really quick. Sleep is tough. Sleep is tough because if you're writing, if you're doing like what I do, your brain is like your main muscle, right? I could go to the gym tired. I could go for a run tired. I could build a house tired, but I cannot write tired. My brain has to be at 100%. So 2 out of those 24 hours, and try to make sure you get enough sleep so that you can get good work done in that time. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope this was helpful. I'm back, baby. I'm sorry about last week. I do think it was subpar content, to be honest. And I'm gonna do a good job, man. That's what I want to do. Check out my book. It's called Take Their Money. It's available at kylethewriter.com/book. There's a sales page there. Once you get to the cart, you can check out my research upsell. I think research is probably the most overlooked thing in copywriting. Like, the research does the writing for you. So check all that stuff out. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Copy Squad.